Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inspiring Minds. Great to see everyone. I'm so excited tonight. We have a wonderful woman, Gedina, with us. She is based on the West Coast, and she's just a fierce entrepreneur. She's been out there in the entertainment business, creating her vision and the world, and one of the most ferocious leaders that I've met in a while. So I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for being with us this evening.
It is an honor and a pleasure to be invited to rub shoulders with the likes of you. You are a force to be reckoned with. You're powerful. And when you asked, I was like, oh, she wants to talk to me? Ooh. Totally blushed a
Yay!
little bit. Yeah,
Aww.
I enjoy being in the company of powerful, successful, driven, hardworking, kind, compassionate people, and you, my dear, are one of them.
Aw, likewise. Get a little love
Yay.
connection going on here. Little heart spark here.
Little
Yay! So
sacred
this
sister vibe.
little sacred sister vibe, totally. And I love it. And so for those of you who are joining in, we've got 5 of you already. So exciting. Feel free to comment, ask questions. You're a part of this. It's an interactive experience. But this is truly awesome. Oh, Feji Lang says, yes,
Hi,
Jadine.
hi, Faya. That's my
Faya?
friend
Okay, so
Faya.
my apologies on that one. Hi, Faya. Beautiful. So this is awesome because you and I, we've spent some time together. We're in this extraordinary business accelerator together. It's been intense. It's been cool. It's been unexpected. And so I've had an experience of you, but we have not had time to sit down and just talk about life. So cool that we've got this opportunity this evening. And so everybody that's joining, you're learning along with me. So I would just love to hear, I mean, I know the transformed version of you and I've seen you in action, and wow, what a captain's captain you are. Like you just, you command, you lead, you're on it. Your business background backs up what you're up to also. And so I'd just like to hear from you, how did you become the version of you that's here right now? I know that's a big question, but tell us a little bit more about your background and your life.
Well, first and foremost, it's a one day at a time adventure, sometimes a 1 hour at a time, sometimes a 5 minutes at a time adventure. So there is no ED for me at the end of the word transform. It's an ING. I am consistently transforming. I am a practitioner of the work. I choose into it minute by minute basis, and I sometimes don't. Sometimes life is really messy and challenging, and I am human. My human parts show through, and that is the stretch, is to be vulnerable when it is tough and it is challenging. But going back to the fearless part, I from a very, very young age was like, let me jump. I'll just jump. I didn't walk. I went from crawling to running. I went
Wow.
from being in a cradle to swimming 6 feet deep.
Wow.
I'm sure there is fear somewhere clocked in my body. And as I've grown, I've uncovered that there are layers of fear. There are certain things that I'm very afraid of, or I still find fear in certain things. And I choose it anyway. So that's definitely one of my sayings is I'm scared and I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, totally. I get it. So for you, I'm curious, what are the things that will instill that experience of fear for you that you get to walk through?
Yeah, so I feel unconscious of potentially being abandoned, being rejected, being not good enough, not being liked, doing it wrong, being
Mm.
judged. Those are all my image conversations. And also there's, the very small part of me that as a little girl made up that I wasn't safe, that the world wasn't a safe place, and that I would
Mm.
be alone or left or abandoned. And so pulling situations that would reinforce that and have me be right about that in the world was a part of my unconscious behavior for a very long time. And so really getting my finger on it, and when it pops up, I feel it in my chest. I feel it as the anger rises up into my throat, and then the shutdown and the whole experience of being triggered. It's still something that's very real for me, and I can go there at any given point. And it's not in every area of my life, but it is something that's alive and real, and
Yeah.
I work through it all the time.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club, right? Welcome to the club of being human. And I think, I think as women, there's a lot of this perfectionism racket that comes up, and it's like fear of being judged, of not being perfect, and that can really silence women.
Mhm.
We see it in society, and I think we're moving out of it. It feels like some patterning and some conditioning that we're really moving out of as a culture, but it's still there. It's still there. And I think it affects us. It tends to affect us, from what I've seen, more than it does men. Like
Hmm.
worrying about how we're going to be perceived, and the need to be like, if I'm going to be a leader, I get to be perfect at everything I'm doing, right? And being our biggest critics often.
Yeah, something that came up for me, I wrote a song called Messy, and it has to do with redefining what it means to be messy, because for so long, messy meant bad, wrong.
Mm.
You should be silent. Oh, you're going to cry? We don't want to hear it. Save it.
Mm-hmm.
Go somewhere else with it. Or even my own judgment of myself, and like, I'm not on today. I can't show anybody this side of me. Uh,
Mm.
the lack of perfectionism is apparent right now, so let me go inward. And messy was like, oh, she's messy or he's messy. It wasn't something that was acceptable. So for me, I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to take this opportunity to redefine what it means to be messy, and to fall in love with the vulnerability of like, I don't know what I don't know right now, and that feels scary. And
Mm.
I'm having a human experience and being in love with that. And I do agree with you that the accessibility of the work and the emotional intelligence tools being accessible to a lot of different people right now through a lot of different vehicles, your center included, Oprah, Brene Brown, Marianne Williamson, yoga communities, spirituality communities, the accessibility of it is transforming the mindset.
Mm.
Perfectionism is what needs to be worn at all times. And I'm excited about it.
It's so good. It's a good time to be alive. I mean, for as crazy and as messy as it is a great, I mean, just we're redefining what it looks like to be out there in the world, and making our own rules, as opposed to just accepting the rules that are expected from us. Expected. That's the thing. It's like the more of this work that we do, it's like we realize that we've decided that society is a certain way and views us a certain way, but really when you get beyond that expectation or that perception, you realize like it's actually just a couple experiences that I had, a
Mm-hmm.
story that I made about the way that things are, and now I've decided to conform to that way of being for the rest of my life.
Totally. And
How wacky is that?
it's unconscious. It's unconscious until I decide to inventory, take a look at the emotional merchandise that I've purchased and have stocked up in my brain and in my body. And a lot of times for me personally, it's existed in my body and I didn't even know it was in my body because I was so in my brain. My brain helped me survive. Like I survived because this thing up here had me work and move in a way, but my body was screaming, this is still happening. This is still happening. Listen to me. So integrating
Mm.
these parts together and really looking at, is the choice to be perfect serving me to be safe? Yes. But is it a false sense of safety? Because when I choose to be vulnerable and set down the armor, I'm actually standing in a world where another person can bring their heart to the table and I can bring my heart to the table. So everybody's winning in that
Mm.
dynamic. But if I
Yeah.
choose the false sense of security, then connection is dismantled
Then
and
no one's winning, actually.
no one's winning. Yeah.
Right, right. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Yeah, when you're able to just really be authentic and show up, that's when the connection happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful. So how long ago did you do your transformational trainings?
I went through MITT at the end of 2018.
Okay.
And then I turned around and staffed basic, advanced, and an LP. And then I co-captained another basic, advanced, and LP. And then now I'm mentoring a PhD program on the East Coast for a close friend of mine.
Yeah, beautiful.
Everything.
Yeah, and for those who are watching that aren't familiar with basic, advanced, and LP, so that's discovery, breakthrough, and VIP. So it's level 1, 2, and 3. Different centers have different names for them. And PhD is also our facilitation and training program, which I mean, for me, FIT is my favorite program that we offer.
Mm.
Like, I had my biggest breakthroughs there. I also, I needed a lot of transformational work, and so it was so awesome to come back into the work with FIT and really have some of my biggest breakthroughs. Of course, nobody could get there without the first 3 levels of the training, but so cool that you grabbed a hold of this curriculum and just like went forward. The people that I see that don't stop and don't look back, the transformation is so rapid and so clear. And for you to say that 2 years ago you came into the work, and what have you noticed has shifted in your life?
I want to mention one thing on what you said. What's so cool about the opportunity right now with the pandemic, I try and look at what's working and what's great about it, is that, yeah, there's the 3 levels that we have in person. We also have the opportunity to participate online now, which is a whole nother set of transformational levels. So there's like, I don't know what you guys call them at your center, but on our side, they're discovery, breakthrough, and action are the online programs. And then there's the in-person, which you have is available as well. So for those people that are like, man, I really wanted to go in person, but now I have the time, can I go online? Like, they really have an opportunity to be in their own space. I did a training last weekend, being in my own space, being able to integrate the tools in my own home, in my own bedroom, in my own kitchen, in my own bathroom, and not having to travel somewhere. Not that it's a bad thing, ultimately we'll get back to being in person one day, but to have the training in my own home, whole nother level of breakthrough.
Yes.
To be able to apply it and integrate it. So what have I noticed? Back to your initial question. I've noticed that when I see what's in common between all of the other spiritual practices that I participate in, that things rise to the surface really quickly. I'm trying to get into the camera here. I feel like I'm split screen.
You are.
That I can quickly return to sanity, to my frontal cortex, to presence, to my vision very quickly. I work a couple of 12-step programs. I'm in therapy. I have different coaches. I have a lot of different accesses to support. And as a very young person, I learned that support is a good thing, and being a resourceful person is a good thing. So I choose into as many different wheelhouses as I can that serve me to see my vision become a reality. And the transformational tools, particularly the emotional intelligence tools from the training, they sewed the fabric of all of the other ones together for me. And now it's like, all right, what circumstance is showing up right now? Cool. Which one do I want to grab? Am I going to go to my grace and grace revealed practice? Or am I going to go to my, when I staffed that advanced course? Or am I going to go to, my Al-Anon tools, my one day at a time? What am I going to choose in this moment that will have me be the best version of me and come from my heart? What's going to have people experience the love that I have for them right now? What is that? And of course, it's not perfect, but it's a practice of like having accessibility, freedom, the mobility to choose in every moment, who do I want to be right now?
Wow, that's awesome. So I'm hearing like just a massive tool chest that you've invested into in yourself. And now you have all these resources and you can flex and pull out the things that are going to work for each circumstance.
Yeah. And ultimately, that it's not even a circumstance. It's no longer a circumstance that I have to hold them out for. It's like, oh, this is my life. I'm a human being living, and they naturally just flow in. So the first thought may be a little bit woohoo, and then the second thought is, oh, I have this option. Do I want to build this scaffolding right now? Do I want to build this? What do I want to be right about in this moment? And then I can make a different choice from there. Which isn't something I was taught in elementary school or junior high, nor was my parents, nor was the people around me at that age. These practices weren't accessible in the way that they are now. So I'm rigorous with it.
That's almost to
like, sometimes I get to stop the coaching and be with it for a minute, like just to celebrate the wins before we go chewing on the next thing. Like there's nothing
Right.
else to fix or change. I'm whole and complete as I am.
No, that's beautiful too, because wow, we can the overachievers, we could just continue, right? Sometimes it's just about being.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
totally.
good. I love it. Yeah, this idea about being right. I mean, I hadn't realized the gravity of that, that there's a few things that the human brain chooses, right? It's like wants to be right, it wants to look good, wants to avoid pain, right? Those are like almost the three options that the brain goes to by default. And being
Mhm.
right means that literally any belief that you have, no matter how backwards or unconscious it is, your brain is going to do everything it can to prove it right so that it can keep you safe. And
Mhm.
most of the things that we're proving ourselves right about are ingrained from such a young age that we have no idea the ramifications that they're having in our lives. I mean, that's probably where a lot of the prejudice comes from, and abusive tendencies. And so the unexamined brain is just running on autopilot. And unless you really take a lens and take the time to examine, like, wow, what am I being right about? That's the source of our limitations right there. Like, I'm being right about the fact that I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve this. And so guess what? I'm not going to make that money. I'm not going to have the relationship. I'm going to keep choosing the person that, doesn't appreciate me. And like how ubiquitous that tool right there being, what are you being right about?
Yeah, and the thing that has been um, the thing that I've been unpacking around that statement, because I can get really black and white with it, and I can get very much like, what am I being right about? And it's
Mm,
almost a way to like course correct what my body is asking me to look at, which is,
mm,
hey, where is the softness and the tenderness
mm,
that little girl needed when she was 5 and she figured out or perceived that she needed to be right in order to survive? What does she actually need to hear right now?
mm,
What kind of love and kindness and tenderness? And uh, especially in the people that I coach or the people that I mentor, what I find so often is that there's no space for the feeling to come up, not the story, but the
mm,
feeling of grief. Grief can be pocketed away in the body in ways that we're not even conscious of, even generationally. My mom's mom, my
mm,
dad's dad, that shit's passed down and kept in the body. I'm carrying that potentially, I believe, generationally. And if I do not allow the space for my body to scream, for
mm.
it to be, you know, the catharsis
Released.
of it, allowing it out, and I just go, what am I being right about? I'm like only working from here up. So
Mm,
my practice has been like, okay, yes, what am I being right about? Okay, I can identify the belief, I can logically and rationally unpack this, but have I gone into my body? Where do I feel that? Where does it
mm.
live inside of me? What am I holding my stomach in? Am I tensing my shoulders? My coach says to me all the time, Gedina, relax your jaw. What's happening with your jaw right now?
Mm,
Soften
mhm,
your gaze, like,
mm,
release your neck muscles, because I don't
mm,
even know that I'm communicating with you exactly what's happening. I'm intellectually getting it, but my
mhm.
body is saying, hey, like, let's actually talk about this. Let's allow it to come up and out.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, so I'm curious for you, because I mean, I know the truth of what you're speaking. It's absolutely true. We get to be integrated and whole and have both sides of ourselves, the intuitive as well as the like warrior spirit who goes out and just like makes it happen no matter what. But what have you experienced has opened up for you with your results since you've started to nurture yourself more?
So, intention is everything. Intention
Mm,
is the first step to all things. Enrolling in a relationship, enrolling in business, enrolling in all things. And I have been setting intentions for the past 5 years, just rigorously setting intentions. Before the MIT tools, it was law of attraction, Abraham Hicks. I was into that work. I was writing stuff down. I was setting those intentions, and really from an authentic place, I was just writing it on paper. And I'm not kidding you. If I showed you what I was looking for and looking to create 5 years ago, I have it right now. So
Awesome.
my results are that when I set my intention, I am clear what, with who, by when, then they happen. And if it's clean, if it's a clean intention, if there's anything else wrapped up into it, it won't happen. And I can tell you, specifically from my business perspective, I had been for years trying to figure out how to build a team. I could not wrap my head around, how do I make music and have people support what I'm up to? Am I not good enough? Am I not enough singer? Am I not smart enough? Am I not pretty enough? Am I too old? Every single conversation in the entertainment business was like in my face, and I wasn't seeing the results. I just wasn't seeing the results. And so I knew that even though I set my intention, there was all this other stuff in the way from me actually seeing that intention come to pass. And when my intention only serves me, I don't have my intention come to pass. It must come from a place of everybody wins. It must come from, this is much bigger than the Gedina show. This is how does this impact the world? And when it impacts the world in a way that has everybody win, my intention happens.
That's so awesome. And I think it's on an intuitive level, it's because our spirit actually feels like it's the right thing. So if we're praying just for our own personal gain, it's like our spirit is like, this is not right, So in order to make that a clear channel, it's like, yeah, everybody, and that's always, it seems like the highest possibility for the outcome is that there's always, like, the highest possibility is that everyone wins, and I think that there's always a solution that occurs in, and awesome that you're aligning to that and that things are manifesting for you. And I'm curious, so we haven't really gone a ton into your career. You're a singer, you're a songwriter, you are the CEO of Fourth Door Records, and so that's a transformational record label. And so will you talk to us a little bit about that, about what you're up to there?
Yeah, it's so fun to be able to play with you in the business, the transformational business accelerator that we're both in right now. And like I mentioned before, music has really been about me, with me, and making music for me, both in an unhealthy and in healthy ways. And it was really when I chose into making music for a larger audience and really having my music be a gift to people that I started to realize that if I can do it for me, I can support others in doing it for themselves. And I was in PhD when my mentor and the people I was in PhD with, they said, like, why wait? Why not now? Wow. So I started the label while I was in PhD and began the process of, like, what does it look like to come from vision and be a stand that anybody who is a transformational artist, who is working their vision, just creating content that is looking to disrupt in a way that serves the world, I can be a place where they can come to have their visions come to life. And it's been a process, right? So as I mentioned, not every intention is clean. So I've had to sift and sort through all the different, like, choices that I'm making. I've been an independent artist for a very, very, very long time. And what I didn't know. And I didn't know how to be a CEO and build a team. I was great at being right about being alone. I was great at that. So now,
raise your hand if you've been right about being alone. Yes, good times. Yep.
I'm good at that. So, okay, so what does it mean to be right about being on a team and having people who are more successful than I am in all industries supporting so that other artists can win? And it's It's been so beautiful. Like, I can't even begin to tell you.
Will you tell us a couple like outcomes that are, because this is fresh for you. Like this is happening in the last like 6 months. Like it was happening
Last
over
year.
the weekend that we were together, and
Mhm.
you signed some artists. So will you tell us a couple
Yeah.
amazing outcomes?
So I love the music business. It literally raised me. Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Christina Aguilera, and all of these lovely ladies were in my bedroom with me every day after school. So I owe my sanity and my safety to them, and
Wow.
my joy to the music business. Like they literally raised me. Um, and I believe that there's an untapped lane when it comes to music that supports people that are in the process that I was in for the last 5 years. And for those people that are coming into transformation, there's a gap. If I want to put on Cardi B and do the WAP, I'm down. Let's go. If I want to put
Mhm.
on Snoop and roll out, that's great. If I want to sing, I'm a badass, confident woman, I'll put on Demi Lovato. But when
Mhm.
I want to go from journaling to meditating to being in my vision in music and then stepping into my day, I haven't seen something that fills that space in music. So
Mm.
I started making that music while I was in LP, while I was in the third level of the training. And I really shifted my come from on like, this music is about people coming from I and choosing into their vision. So I
Nice.
started creating that. And then I said to myself, like, my best friend, brother Bear over here is doing the same thing. And this other person over here is writing this type of music. And this, why don't I create something, a vehicle that has the ability to support that? And what I found over the last year is that the music industry has very specific and set metrics of how
Mm.
they measure and choose into music. Not right, wrong, not good, bad, but it's very specific and it's a proven track record and it works in the music business. And
It makes them a lot of money. Yes.
it makes them a lot of money.
Yes.
And it, like, transformation doesn't really fit into that. It doesn't.
Well, it hasn't previously.
It hasn't previously, hence
Yeah. Yeah.
creating a
Yeah.
label that it does fit in. So that's where the name of the company came from, is Fourth Door Records. I read a book called The Third Door by Alex Bunyan. I always butcher his last name. I hope that's how you say it. And he talks about the nightclub analogy. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Have you heard of it?
No, haven't
Okay.
heard. I was wondering where Fourth Door came from, actually. I was like, is it
So,
pores or like, what's the deal?
no, it does fit, right? I mean,
Yes, totally.
so, but the nightclub analogy is, if you think of a nightclub, there's multiple ways to get into the nightclub. The first door is the general admission line where people wait and they wait and they wait and they wait and they maybe get in, but they're just waiting until enough people leave or whatever. They need more people in the club, they'll let you in. The second door is the VIP door. You're hot and trendy right now. Your friend's uncle owns, the club. You could pay your way in, or something along those lines. And then there's the like Goodfellas, run down the alleyway, bang on the kitchen door, do a certain handshake combination.
Get in
I mean,
for free.
but it was like, but you're third dooring your way in. You're creating an experience that would have never happened if you didn't run down the alleyway. You'd be waiting in line. Now,
Okay.
the general music industry, in my experience, is door one. You got to wait in the line. You got to do it the way that they want you to do it, and you follow these certain metrics. Door two is like, maybe nepotism, or you've like randomly somehow, know somebody that knows somebody in a sorority that you went with, and and you're in.
Right.
And then
Right.
there's the exponential way in, which is like, I, sign an indie label and I kind of get traction and growth hack it. Maybe somehow I come up with some sort of model. Now, the third door is that door. Our intention is to enter through the third door into the nightclub, which is the music industry. And then we'll open the fourth door for transformational artists to enter through our door that we've created ourselves.
Oh, cool. I
So
love
this
it.
door itself is very different in that we don't follow the same metrics. In the tech startup world, there's something called the disruptor model. And it's a philosophy based on investing in people who have an idea that is changing people's behavior. So all of the artists that I signed during the weekend of the accelerator, we're starting the process of signing them. What it means is they have a mindset, they have a mission, they have a cause that they're out there in the world creating. One of the ways that they're doing that is through music. Another way that they're doing that is through the products that they're creating. Another way that they're doing that is through the services that they're offering in the world. Fourth Door's intention is to invest in artists who have a mindset that is shifting and causing and impacting human behavior in a way that has the world winning, not investing in a song that will make them a lot of money that then Fourth Door can control. Not that that's bad or wrong, but that's not what we're up to. So our model is we're investing in people with great ideas.
And music is part of it.
And music is the initial passion for all of these people. But yeah, these artists are badass. Ponta is one of them. She's a candle maker. She's a rapper. She's a singer. She's a writer. She can bust a rhyme like, nobody's business. Jimmy Powers has been with Herbalife for a very long time. He writes rhymes for them and can take a branded product and a instrumental track and make those two things come together in a way that has the product go boom. And then you've got someone like Leo who is doing vulnerability workshop for men. Like, it brings me to tears, these people who are brilliant and talented, but in the old school model of the music industry can't actually get traction because they're not following what the industry would have them do to make it. And I want to be a place where those people can shine.
That's so awesome. I wish we had some links that we could add into the chat. Maybe that's a possibility. We can add those afterwards. Yeah. And I would love to hear from you. So yes, I got, like, you are shifting the paradigm of the music industry. And I think all of these industries get to be, something new gets to be created, something more holistic and something more visionary. And thank you for taking a stand in the entertainment industry and in the music industry, and somebody who's like been out there experiencing how uncomfortable it can probably be, and just deciding to create something new. So I would love to hear from you. Like, what's your vision, Gedina? What's your vision for all of this?
My vision is that the people who hear the music and access the opportunities that are provided by myself and the artists on the label are empowered and inspired and moved to let their freaking masterpiece shine, whatever it looks like that day, that they are moved to wholeness and accessing their integrity, and they feel called to be in purpose, on purpose.
I love it. I love it. And I also love that our friend, whose name I'm not going to try and say right now, but Thea, thank you. I was like, she's putting one of the links. This is awesome. She's posted a link for Leo. Aww. So beautiful. And
yeah, so he's releasing a new song on December 11th, and it's, oh gosh, it is such a moving song. It's called Angels. You got to check it out.
Okay, Angels, love it. Okay, so she's putting all of the links. Thank you so much, Faya. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Faya.
Yeah, thank you, Faya. And Gedina, how can people follow you? How can they keep in touch? Like, where do they witness your journey and interact?
So it's a big Christmas. We have a lot of things coming down the pipe right now. We have another single coming out. You can find me at I am Gedina on Instagram, on Twitter. Gedina.com is my website. And please follow, like, share the music on Spotify. Messy is the first single from the album. Transformer is the second single. And we may or may not have a surprise product coming out in the next 10 days or so that is intended to be the thread for the music, transformation, and impacting human behavior now.
What? Okay, well, we definitely want to be tuning in for that. So yeah, we'll be following in. And Faya posted your the Spotify link as well. So if we want to get this gift that you're putting out there, or this offering, where do we go for that? Is that on Spotify, or is that on your website, or?
It'll likely be offered on my Instagram. That'll be the first place that we release it, and then it'll be available through my Shopify, which hasn't gone live yet. So I'm giving you dibs on the inside info first. But yeah, it's a product that has been in the works for a long time, and I think there's no better time than now to allow the world to have access to it. So
Beautiful. So I'm putting your Instagram handle on there. I am Gedina.
Thank
And
you.
yay! And oh my goodness, thank you so much for being with us this evening. This is truly an honor and privilege to be with you and hear your vision and what you're up to. And man, so awesome that people are waking up and that we can be a stand for creating the type of world that we actually want to live in and participate and play in and enjoy. Because I'm just so clear that our planet can be exactly what we want it to be, and there's enough for everyone. So thank you for being in that space for us.
Yeah, I acknowledge you for being abundant, for having enough for everyone to go around, for holding with your heart. Like you are so heart-based in my experience, and it's a flawless mix of empowerment, inspiration, joy, love, and intelligence that just cuts right through every time I'm with you. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be with you today. And I love that our journey is beginning now. And yeah, let's get old and gray together and like, you know,
And make
celebrate when our
amazing art in the world with
yeah, and
beautiful humans.
like let's change the world together. I'm on it with you, sister.
Okay, beautiful. And for all of you watching, thank you for being with us. Let's all change the world together. We're transforming each moment here. No time like the present. 2021 is going to be incredible. Oof. Shout out. And thank you for being here with us. Thank you.